Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, ladies and gents? How are we all doing this evening? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, on today's conversation, we're going to talk about our partner in chief, our President Donald J. Trump. When I tell you all he's been doing, in my opinion, is pardoning his friends, pardoning those who belong locked up for what they have done. I can't continue to tell you how corrupt this guy is. I mean, you see it firsthand. I've already shared with you in the previous show how a lot of Senate Republicans are pissed with this president, with this recent bill that he calls the Big Beautiful Bill. And even some Republicans have even shared, and not just Republican elected officials. I'm talking about prominent conservative talk voices like a Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, people that are calling him a grifter, or also saying how it's a bad look, the fact that his family's receiving billions and billions of dollars. He's receiving money under the table with this whole meme coin crap and Bitcoin. He's doing these private dinners that are going a whopping $148 million being made at these dinners. And what kills me is that, okay, he gets to receive $400 million private jets, right? He gets to do all this other stuff, but yet he's not doing anything for the American people. This whole Trump bill, this whole big, beautiful bill will only benefit the wealthy. And isn't it interesting that every time you catch him, he's going overseas, chopping it up with the wealthy? He's having these private exclusive dinners with what? The wealthy? Oh, and Lamar Odom. Got throw him in there, right? And so it's so interesting because he has been pardoning everybody since he, like his big toe went through the door in the White House. He's been pardoning everybody. Pardon. He's pardoned the January 6th rioters, those who, in my opinion, belong in the jail. He's now pardoned a few other controversial individuals. We'll share about that later on the show. What else do we have going on later? We have that. Oh, we have Democrats trying to seek their liberal Joe Rogan. Why? Because the Democrats are in desperate times right now. They're desperate. They're very desperate. In addition to that, Ron Emanuel, the former Obama chief of staff, former U.S. ambassador for Japan, and former mayor of Chicago, is requesting that the Dems move centered if you want to win, and not because he's saying they're toxic. They're the party of the party's brand is toxic, weak, and woke. That is not a winning strategy. That's what he said. His words. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it here on the show. And if we have some time, I'll throw in a little bit of other things if we have some time. But as always, my friends, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your host, your friend Arrington Gavin, coming to you on this wonderful evening, bringing to you some more news happening in our world, in our backyards, in our society. I just want to, share with you unfiltered, unapologetic, zero sugarcoating, right? We're just going to have fun. We're going to have a conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So kick back, relax, and again, enjoy the show. I want to shout out those who tune into the program by way of a podcast. We're available on all major podcast platforms. You can also, and all you have to do is just type in the Arrington Gavin Show. That's ARRINGTON, and then last name's Gavin, GAVIN. You can also stream us by way of YouTube, Rumble, as well as Goatverse TV. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, please do so. It is an amazing independent streaming channel that I'm honored to be a part of. You can download it on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. We're available in a couple markets, and we're growing with that, which we're so honored to be available on the radio airwaves. First one is in the New Orleans area, so shout out to those who are currently listening to us in the New Orleans area by way of WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. That's right. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays, weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can also listen to us in the Metro Atlanta area. For those who are listening to us right now on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the program weeknights, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's multiple ways you can tune into the program. If you are an avid social media person, you can go ahead and follow us on social media on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as Substack. All right, you can subscribe to our Substack page, all under the same name, The Arrington Gavin Show. I truly appreciate that. We want to keep on growing those numbers. We're getting close. We're getting close to around 30,000 followers on Instagram. So please do me a favor, follow us. Again, our Instagram handles is The Arrington Gavin Show, all one word. So please be sure to support us on those platforms. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. Before we move forward, let's go ahead and do our fun fact of the day. It's been a minute since we have done some fun facts. Let's see. And I feel like I don't know if I've already done this one yet, but I'll do it anyway. Hopefully I'm not repeating a fun fact that I've already mentioned here on the show, but I'm going to say it anyway. All right. YOLO, you only live once. So did you all know that the Eiffel Tower can grow taller in the summer? Due to the thermal expansion, it can grow by about 6 inches, which is approximately 15 centimeters on hot days. So that's quite interesting. Something that's grown on a hot day. You mean it doesn't grow on like a rainy day? I get it, because the more you water a plant, it grows. All right, that was corny. I get it. Okay, that was corny. I get it. Well, let's go ahead, my friends, and we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Please do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's get it going with our first story here on the agenda. As I mentioned before, President Trump has been pardoning everybody and a mama. That's literally what he's known for at this point. See, here in the state of VA where I reside, we call our current governor the veto in chief. Why? Because he vetoes every damn thing that comes in his face. I don't think there's been anything that he has accomplished in his 4-year term besides just vetoing. Now, in this case with President Trump, he is pardoning every damn body. Everybody's getting pardoned. You get a pardon. You get a pardon. You get a pardon. You're all getting pardons. That was my Oprah Winfrey impersonation. Do I need to work on that? Okay, I'll work on that. But it first started with, at least in this term, it all started with the January 6th rioters, which, in my opinion, every single elected Republican should have stood against that process happening and should have freaking pressed the president, because at the end of the day, what went down on January 6th was one of the most horrific acts of our time. Like, I always laugh when conservatives or folks on the right or MAGA will compare a Black Lives Matter protest to a January 6th riot, right? There's two different things between protests and rioters. And the first thing they'll be like, well, what about those that vandalized? What about those who vandalized the property? Guess what? Those who vandalized property should be held accountable. I agree with that. But do not ever compare a peaceful protest, which we saw during George Floyd. We saw it happen everywhere across the world, to this freaking idiotic act where folks stormed the Capitol, broke windows to get in. They freaking attacked law enforcement. All right. One officer lost his life after the results of it. They were chanting "Hang Mike Pence," then the current sitting vice president under Trump, with no defending from the President Trump. All right. And so now we're over here saying, oh, let's go ahead and pardon everybody that was there. everybody that was arrested should be pardoned. I mean, it's just, and yet again, he counts his innocence, saying that, oh, I never incited a riot. Me never, not I, no. See, here's the thing. Oh, what he's showing is that you can break the law only in the namesake of him. If you're defending the Trump name and you break the law, oh, you're fine. You're gonna get pardoned. That's a prime example of what I see. So let me fast forward to that. He has pardoned the January 6 rioters. He has even pardoned a recent sheriff, a Virginia sheriff. Let me go ahead and bring this news for you. Let me go ahead and play this soundbite for you about this recent individual that was pardoned, a sheriff out of Culpeper County, who was convicted on federal bribery charges. Let me go ahead and let's see if I can bring up this soundbite for you. Gentleman's name is Scott Jenkins, a former sheriff of Culpeper County in Virginia. Let me go ahead and play this for you.
All right, we've got some more breaking news, this time from President Trump. We learned just moments ago that he posted a statement on his social media account saying he is granting a full and unconditional pardon to Scott Jenkins. Who's Scott Jenkins? Well, he's the former sheriff of Culpeper County, Virginia. And back in December, a jury found Jenkins guilty of taking bribes in exchange for appointing several people as auxiliary deputy sheriffs. In March, a judge sentenced him to 10 years in federal prison. Now, President Trump claims Jenkins was the victim of what we're quoting here. He said, an overzealous Biden Department of Justice. All right, we've got some more breaking news.
So let me go ahead and read this, what the president had shared. Sheriff Scott Jenkins, his wife Patricia, and their family have been dragged through hell by a corrupt, weaponized Biden DOJ. In fact, during his trial, when Sheriff Jenkins tried to offer exculpatory evidence to support himself, the Biden judge, Robert Ballou, refused to allow it, shut him down, and then went on a tirade. As we have seen in federal, city, and state courts, radical left or liberal judges allow in evidence what they feel like, not what is mandated under the Constitution and rules of evidence. This sheriff is a victim of overzealous Biden Department of Justice and doesn't deserve to spend a single day, you hear that, in jail. He is a wonderful person who was persecuted by the radical left monster and left for dead. This is why I, as president of the United States, see fit to end his unfair sentence and grant Sheriff Jenkins a full and unconditional pardon. He will not be going to jail tomorrow, but instead will have a wonderful and productive life. Let me for one, let's break this down here. So, pardon to Trump is a joke, because I recently saw Trump has spoke at one of the graduations. I can't remember exactly which one. Could be Navy, could be Army. I'm forgetting, but he literally was making a joke saying, "You're all pardon, you're all pardon." I'm like, this guy thinks it's a freaking joke, because it is to him. It is. What doesn't this man realize? Evidence had shown that this man was found guilty. It was found in a court of law. We all respect and know innocent until proven guilty. But when you are found and proven guilty, guess what? You got to serve the time, Chief. You have to serve the time. And the sad thing is, y'all, and this is scary, the law is the justice system, the court system is starting to be used as a political pawn. And it's really, to me, it's scary. Because obviously, we've always seen when justice is not being served. Now with this guy, justice is sure as hell not going to be served. Let me go ahead and read you this article by ABC News. Says here that Jenkins faced, and as you mentioned on the soundbite, but I still want to remind you all, and I want to read this in contents. Jenkins was faced a jury trial in late 2024, but wasn't sentenced until March of 2025 under the Trump administration. Acting U.S. Attorney Zachary T. Lee, who represented the U.S. government and therefore the Trump administration in the case, is still serving as the acting U.S. General of the Western District of Virginia. Now, Trump praised Jenkins as a wonderful person, yada, yada, yada. Jenkins was convicted by a jury in December of 2024 on charges including 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of honest service fraud, and 7 counts of bribery concerning federal funding programs. Now, Lee wrote in March sentencing memo that Jenkins repeatedly violated the public's trust. All right. Now, again, this is an attorney that's under the Trump administration. Jenkins repeatedly violated the public's trust by exploiting his official powers for personal gain. This is the words from, again, I move and still acting U.S. Attorney Zachary T. Lee, who represented the U.S. government, therefore the Trump administration. So he represents the Trump administration as well as the U.S. government. All right. So again, where does this whole thing come? Oh, it was a leftist leaning diabolical Biden DOJ that. I mean, Trump, what is he talking about? Lee wrote in March. He added, after he was caught, he sought to manipulate the judicial process and to invade responsibilities for his crimes by lying to the court and the jury. Lee added, in sum, Jenkins' lies and abuses of power in an instant case are not an aberration. Since his early days in law enforcement, Jenkins has displayed a shocking disregard for his ethical and legal responsibilities. The Department of Justice has said in press release in March that he had received over $75,000 in cash payments for appointing numerous Northern Virginia businessmen as auxiliary deputy sheriffs within his department. Scott Jenkins violated his oath of office and the faith the citizens of Culpeper County placed in him when he engaged in a cash for badge scheme. He adds on, we hold our elected law enforcement officials to the highest standard of conduct, and this case proves that when those officials use their authority for unjust personal enrichment, the Department of Justice will hold them accountable. Here's the thing. Kudos for U.S. Attorney Zachary T. Lee for doing his job, right? As a U.S. attorney, even the attorney Pam Bondi, every person who was working under the law should be bipartisan, right? The only people they should follow, the only thing that they should follow by is the law. But that last part of what I just read, we hold elected law enforcement officials to the highest standard. We hold our elected law enforcement officials to a higher standard of conduct, and this case proves that when those officials use their authority for unjust personal enrichment, the Department of Justice will hold them accountable. Now, here's the thing. We don't just hold elected law enforcement officials to the highest standard. We hold elected officials to the highest standard, as everybody should. But instead, what do we witness here? Oh, we witness the opposite, at least under this administration. We witness the opposite. Why? Because Trump is using his power with his position to cheat around the law. That's right. I said it. That's just my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Please let me know what you guys think. Let me know what y'all think. Listeners, viewers, my liberal listeners, my progressive listeners, my independent listeners, my conservative listeners. What's your thoughts? And let's please be honest. Isn't it a bit sketchy the fact that we in America, we're struggling when it comes with prices being raised due to tariffs issues, yet the president is over here having these private exclusive dinners worth millions and millions of dollars, talk about cryptocurrency and meme coin and all that stuff that's not relatable to the majority of folks in America. If you talk, when I always hear, hey, guess what? The Dow is down this, and now it's the stock market has gone up, 111,000. Guess what? Okay, whatever. But that's not the majority. Majority of folks don't even have stocks, all right, or invest in any of that stuff. That's the God honest truth. Talk about stuff that's relatable. Talk about stuff that's why people voted for you. But no. He just skips around questions all the time and will always say, well, because the Biden this, the Biden that. I mean, we see it time and time again. I wasn't going to really talk about this, but I mean, for example, the last show I had spoken about, or I talked about Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, right? Kash Patel, the FBI director and then deputy director. No, FBI director Kash Patel and then the deputy director Dan Bongino. They were both on Fox News, basically talking about the cause of Jeffrey Epstein's death, right? Which was hilarious because those two were the one starting the conspiracy that, oh, it's some sketchiness going on with this. Are you sure it was suicide? This and that. And then they looked like fools when they said, yeah, we looked at the evidence. Yeah, it was. It's proof there. And especially Dan Bongino, because he was trying so hard to make like it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, so now Bongino is over here saying that he wants to re-examine an investigation during the Biden era. Re-examine, meaning it was already examined, but he wants to re-examine that. Why? Because the right can't stand him for making them look like fools for saying what he had said along with Kash Patel. So they want to stay all in good spirits and in good and with their fan base instead of looking like sellouts. I mean, it's just it is an interesting world we live in. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, once again, truly no morals happening in this new administration. No morals. And in addition to that, so that's just one. That was the biggest controversial one. But let me go ahead and bring this one up. Let's see here. So the reality stars, the Chrisleys, Chris Chrisley and his wife Julie Chrisley. Y'all remember ever watching that show? Let me pull up this image of this for those who are watching us right now, but I'll remind you all of the program if you give me 1 second here as I pull this up for you all. For one, it was just I'd never watched it. It was funny. My mom was into it pretty heavy. I saw commercials for it from a time and I was like, what is this? And it was just a weird, like, to me, sense like a worthless reality show. Like, to me, it was almost to the point where, like, okay, they had to know somebody in order to get this reality show. It was a typical family of money showing how they love money, and it didn't make sense to me. It was nothing relatable about it. You had I don't even know what he did for. I don't know if he was a real estate developer or I don't know what he did for a living. I just know we witnessed them having one of the largest homes in Georgia, I believe they were living in, and then they had to downsize because the markets and everything went bad and whatnot. And then it's kind of just showing how they continue to downsize, and then they're trying to rebuild their careers and whatnot. And yeah, that was pretty much what it is. Like, no, nothing compared to, I say, like the Kardashians, right? I think nobody can really top them when it comes to, reality TV star families. But anyway, Todd and Julie Christie were currently in jail serving a bank fraud and tax evasion case. This is reported by People magazine. Let me see. Okay, so Todd and Julie were initially indicted in August of 2019 before being sentenced in November of 2022 to a combined 19 years in prison. They had been appealing their case ever since. Now, initially, Julie appeal was granted due to insufficient evidence. Okay, while Todd's was upheld. Now, however, a separate judge later ruled that her original punishment was sufficient. Their original sentencings were reduced in September of 2023. Now, amid the imprisonment, their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, has become the sole caretaker of the pair's youngest children, Grayson, who's 19, and Chloe, who's 12, and at just 25 years old. The couple also shares son Chase, 28, who's 28 years old, while Todd also had children, Lindsay, who's 35, and Kyle, who's 33, during a previous marriage. Now, this is from Savannah. She said, I wasn't expecting to get 2 kids at 27. In a recent People magazine February feature. She also shares that, so between that, legal expenses to fight for my parents, I am just like anyone else out here. Sure, I put a smile on my face. I look the part, I play the part, but it doesn't mean I actually am the part. You fake it till you make it. That's the world that we live in. I've struggled. All the while, the Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley podcast has continued to fight for her parents' return. She even revealed to People earlier this year that they had plans to seek a pardon from Trump. Now, Savannah has previously spoken at the Republican National Convention in 2024 in support of Trump. Oh. Pinpoint that, y'all. Pinpoint that. I'll read it again. Savannah had previously spoken at the RNC convention, at the Republican National Convention in 2024 in support of Trump, and reflected on her parents' predicament in her speech. She says here, I know that I am going through the proper channels to do so, and I'm going to bring as much awareness to it as possible, because these things should not happen. Here's the thing, and look, I can't be mad at Savannah. She was doing all she can to, bring her parents back, right? I couldn't imagine if that was, my folks be put in that predicament. I understand. But at the end of the day, this is a story, this is a narrative that we hear time and time again. These reality stars, that the theme of their shows is bragging about their worth, bragging about their wealth, bragging about their lifestyle, living in the rich and famous, and then all of a sudden, what happens? It starts to trickle down. What do? They start to cheat the system. We've seen it time and time again on these reality shows. Real housewives of whatnot, because there's so many of them. They do. How many times have you seen them go to jail for tax evasion? This and that stupid stuff. Why? Because that greed, that power, they want it. They thrive on it. It helps whiten their teeth. It keeps them up at night. They love being the rich and famous, darling. They love that. Okay. And so when that starts to leave their hands, guess what? They start doing stupid-ish. All right. So now we see Trump pardoning them. Oh, now they free people. Okay. Once again, whatever happened to justice, whatever happened to you break the law, there is consequences. Now, it's not like they were in a freaking prison with the hardest criminals of the world. All right. But at the end of the day, you broke the law. But once again, Trump looks out for his own. He looks out for his people that support him. The Chrisley's family is getting. Here's the funny thing. So I'm sorry. So now this family, this white family, and I hate to use race involved, but you heard me correct the first time. Reality show turn tax invasion and wire fraud, bank fraud and tax evasion. When you break the law, you're supposed to serve time, right? Okay. Now, you know what they're getting ready to do now that they've been pardoned by the president? They're free people. Guess what they're doing? They're going back to reality television again, handed to them. Says here that the Chrisley family is gearing up to star in an all-new docuseries for Lifetime, because they were initially on the USA Network. People confirm that the series, which succeeds USA's networks, Chrisley Knows Best and Growing Up Chrisley, will see the broad exposing the raw truth of their lives, past and present. And the reality is far different from what audience have seen before. It doesn't currently have a release date and was originally not set to feature the famed patriarchs. But best believe they got their hands into that. I say it all the time, folks. The moral compass is gone. It is gone. You hear me? Gone. Folks can break the law and get away with it. Oh, I'm getting arrested. I'll just ask for a pardon. You got so many people asking for pardons, man. So many people asking for pardons. And it's only Trump loyalists that receives the red carpet. They don't need to serve no kind of time. Look, Jared Kushner's dad, Kushner's father, who was serving time in jail, has been pardoned by Trump. Now he's a billionaire again. Now he's like the U.S. ambassador for, I don't know, Israel or Brazil, one of the two. I mean, it's just it's so, like, it's not even like frustrating at this point. It's just a damn shame. That's all it is. It's just a damn shame. Just a damn shame. But hey, I know their kids are happy to see their folks. I hope, this is a lesson learned. I doubt it, but I hope, they've learned a lesson not to break the law. They got this, the second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. But I'm really not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. I'm curious. I wonder if he's gonna pardon Tiger King now. Y'all remember Tiger King? Now that was you talking about a crazy freaking reality show there. Oh, that was my show on Netflix. Tiger King. Oh, that was. I honestly, it was funny. Quick story before I head to a commercial break, but I came across Tiger King like just unknowingly. I was just like skimming through Netflix, and I was like, oh, what is it about? Watched the first episode, and then I was automatically hooked. I think I might have finished the whole entire show in one night. Like, I just bam, binge watched the whole thing. But yes, my friends, once again, pardon in chief. Okay, the pardon in chief. Pardon me. Everybody gonna start asking that. Pardon me, Mr. President. Pardon me. Okay, my friends. Look, let's go ahead. We're gonna take another commercial break. When we come back, we have a lot more here on you, for you at the Arrington Gavin Show. Please don't go anywhere. Stick and stay, and we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Jazera Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarenLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Our risk from injury from a fall or car crash increases as we age. But getting older doesn't have to mean giving up on the activities you love. Take simple steps to avoid injuries, like doing activities that improve strength and balance. Get yearly eye and wellness exams, and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the medicines you take. Also, tell your doctor if you've fallen or worry about falling. Learn more about aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Want to move on next, but real quick, another quick pardon story. So this was brought let's see here. So check this out. Just weeks after this gentleman's mother donated $1 million to Donald Trump, tax cheat Paul Walczak received a presidential pardon. So once again, you see where I'm catching, where we're catching here. 1 million added to the MAGA fundraiser by his mom, and yet that's what got this guy part. That, hey, I'm just saying, this is information right here. I didn't report this. This is public information. You can check it out yourself. Let's go ahead and move it on. So, as I mentioned before, the left is in dire need right now for some help in their party. I mean, it ain't looking too good for them. Well, it might be looking good for them in the midterms, but they have a lot of work to do, in my opinion. There has been announced that they are seeking a liberal version of Joe Rogan, comedian, famous podcaster, UFC announcer, or UFC commentator, Joe Rogan. The left is in desperate need to find their next Joe Rogan. And I mean, you have liberal content creators that are doing great, like the Midas Touch, the Midas brothers. They're doing an amazing job. I think they received they're like ranked number 1, I believe, in the podcast charts. They received multiple awards. They're building a network of its own now. They just added Katie Fang, that was recently with MSNBC. One of her show was canceled. Now she's doing working with them and other folks. And Midas Touch is extremely popular. So when it comes to like there's a group of them. It's not just one specific person, but it looks like they're looking for that one person. So this was reported by USA Today. It's opinion. I cannot talk. Come on now, Arrington. An opinion piece saying that the Democrats wants a liberal Joe Rogan to help them win elections. Yeah, well, they need all the help they can get, in my opinion. And I see why they would say somebody like a Joe Rogan, because really, Joe Rogan has been said the guy that helped get Trump elected again. Why? Because Joe Rogan, his listenerships are insane. I think they're in the millions per day. All right. When and I remember watching it when it was time for Trump ended. I think he ended by going to Joe Rogan's show, and then you had Kamala went on Club Shay Shay, and the numbers were just pitiful for Kamala Harris. Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, yes, he has a popular podcast, but is it on the verge of a Joe Rogan? Me personally, I will say no. All right. And for those who disagree, hey, we can have the conversation. The reason why I'm saying no is, yes, Shannon Sharp is building a entity with his media company. I think it's called Shay Media, Club Shay Shay, Nightcap. They're going viral, but a lot of his viral moments are not happening with just him alone. They're happening, his podcast had a huge boost with Cat Williams. That one solo show that picked it up for him. And then you know what else happened? Shannon Sharp starting to expose his freakiness. That's what started helping too. Those are the two top tier things that has been helping his brand with the podcasting realm. Now, does he have that voice where everybody and their mama would watch if an elected official will come up there? Me personally, no. She did it all. She tried it with All the Smoke with Steven Jackson, Matt Barr. It still just wasn't hitting. It wasn't relatable to all folks. Now, she also went on was it Call Her Daddy or Call Something Daddy? It's another popular podcast I'm not too familiar with, but apparently it's worth $100 million because that's what she signed with Spotify. Kamala Harris was on there. That's still, so again, these three quote unquote very successful podcasts did not help, but just this one, in my opinion, this one, Joe Rogan, in the first in the first hour, he had damn near 24 million views in the first hour, y'all. That is crazy numbers. That's the kind of power that Joe Rogan has. And then the day before, he ended up endorsing President Trump. And yes, it was disheartening for a lot of fans of the Joe Rogan show. I'm a fan of the Joe Rogan show. I disagree with his take on on a few things. Like for one, endorsing freaking President Trump. I also disagree with the notion that you can. I believe that having a show where you can welcome all people on, right, from different backgrounds, different opinions, all that good stuff. I love having conversations like that. But he's had folks, in my opinion, that shows more harm, that harms listeners, and that does not deserve a platform like Alex Jones. He's had Alex Jones on his show a few times. I think he's had Candace Owens on the show. That I just me personally, those folks, I don't think they should have a platform at all. Let me continue with this because I say all that to say Joe Rogan has a huge presence. This opinion piece shares, I've been told scores of wealthy Democratic donors are eager to identify. And by the way, this opinion piece was written by Rex Humpke, by the way. Shares, I've been told scores of wealthy Democratic donors are eager to identify and recruit a liberal Joe Rogan, who will do for their party's candidates what the actual Joe Rogan apparently did for President Donald Trump in the 2024 election. Now, after getting it 15 seconds of careful thought, and as a devoted believer in forced authenticity, I formally accepted what I assumed is a multi-million-dollar offer, and proudly take on the title of the left's Joe Rogan. Before detailing my plans as America's next great progressive influencer, podcaster, talentless middle-aged white guy who somehow became popular, let me refresh your memory on how we got here. Now, says here that the Democrats think they can buy the authenticity and create a liberal Rogan. Now, it's generally believed to be a big part of the Trump success in his 2024 campaign. I truly believe so myself. The retake that White House stemmed from the fact that, as the New York Times recently reported, he cultivated an ecosystem of supporters on YouTube, TikTok, and podcasts. In particular, Trump won over younger male voters by chatting with bro-centric influencer like Rogan and Theo Von. Now, Theo Von, I wouldn't consider a bro-centric. Rogan, yes. Rogan is a guy that, hey, all I eat is steak, red meat. I smoke cigars. I drink bourbon. I hunt. I do this. I do that. It's the bro podcast. The younger guys that really lean towards Trump are the bro types, the young bro, yeah, let's bro. Like when you if you're in Florida, if you're anywhere, somewhere in on a beach, and you have the little the yachts with young people, what do you see? You see these Trump flags. What does a Trump flag have to do with you having a good time in a freaking yacht or a boat? Just having a good time in the water. Like, why it's a part of the theme. Everybody thinks like Trump brings out the all masculine, and that's the God honest truth. Trump won because he targeted the masculine men that seemed like their voice was never going to be heard, or they were losing their voice. And so you got guys like a Joe Rogan that, I like what he has to say. At first Joe Rogan considers himself a liberal. I don't know what kind, if you endorse Trump, at least. And the reason why I say is because Bill Maher considers himself a liberal, even though he loves right now to attack the left, but he is still a supporter of the left. All right. He's a supporter. Just like myself, like I'm going after folks that's getting on my nerves right now. And the right has always got on my nerves. The left is really getting on my nerves right now. So guess what? I talk about them both. I talk about them. Trump convinced fragile men of all races that they are the victims. And a lot of that audience is Joe Rogan's audience. All right. Because Democratic strategists tend to be extremely bad at their jobs, at least at this point right now, they are. They've concluded the part's best path forward is to spend millions of dollars creating a similar left-wing influencer ecosystem that will allow liberal candidates to connect with desirable demographics in authentic ways that seem organic and not created by Democratic strategists. So, for example, The View. That, in my opinion, is one of the only strong liberal shows that, they're there for the liberal candidates, but it's TV. They only really have 5 minutes, not even 5 minute segments. They might have them up there for 8 to 10 minutes. I mean, it's a split second, right? You need that long form conversation. Even when Kamala was on the podcast, it seemed too staged. Like it really did. Like one thing I'll give credit to Trump. Trump has always been his authentic self, right? There's nothing that is staged with the way he acts. There's nothing that he reads off a freaking script or cue cards. He makes his own stuff off the top 24/7. 24/7. Even questions that their conversation, I think, lasted damn near 3 hours. That's just the way it is. It says here that Democrats are flailing to find something that simple doesn't exist. The Times reported that the Democratic donor network, American Bridge, plans to launch a company called And Media. The And stands for Achieve Narrative Dominance, which certainly sounds better than This Will End Badly. Based on an based on an media business plan is reviewed, the Times reported, hoping to move away from the current the tactic hall monitor style of Democratic politics that turns off younger audience, and media will focus on directly funding influencers and co-producing their content. Nothing says we can nail the youth vote quite like the phrase the tactic hall monitor style. This is let me look at my time. How much do I have? Please, it's a lengthy op-ed, but be sure to check it out, because I don't want to read the full thing. I'll share a little bit more of my take on this op-ed on my Substack page, so be sure to subscribe to that Substack page. But here's my thing. Me personally, I think this strategy, this business investment that they're doing is gonna flop, because you already have voices that I wouldn't consider them full-on liberal voices, but voices that provide some form of guidance and strategy to y'all that y'all ignore to listen to. For example, Roland Martin Unfiltered, Black Star Network. Please check out, listen to it, all his episodes. What he's doing is saying, look, you boneheads, we've been here for how long, and y'all yet. She's talking about the strategists, campaign managers, the liberal networks. All right, just everybody that runs, they put their money into freaking MSNBC, CNN, and they forget about what really gets them going, what really gets them to the top. Roland Martin has well over 1 million subscribers and 1 million views. All right, he has people mostly left-leaning individuals. Yeah, he'll throw some conservatives here and there, but see, conservatives are scared to talk to Roland, because Roland he don't play. All right, that's one gentleman. You have Zateo News, a new independent platform founded by Mehdi Hassan, more progressive leaning network. You've always had TYT. TYT's been kind of getting some heat lately, so I don't know if they will consider them, but I'm just saying you've always had platforms, but you run from those that could be assistants or could help you. You could hold on real quick. You could contact the ones that can really help you, but they ignore that help. So now they're in desperately saying, well, we need to copy this. Stop copying it and just listen to, if you listen to your freaking what the people are trying to tell you, and that why they voted for you, and just listen and stop making your own judgment, maybe you would win. Okay, but instead you didn't listen to the people. And that's what gets y'all in trouble. Y'all don't listen to the folks that get y'all in office. All right? Just listen to the people. What the people requested, what the people asked for. Listen to them. Now they, everything's, they stuck in a corner because they're like, oh gosh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We gotta find our own Joe Rogan. I mean, literally? Come on, seriously? It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Look, I wish I had time to discuss Rahm Emanuel, but I'll share that on the next show. My friends, as always, thank you so much for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to tune in to the program weeknights, available on all digital streaming platforms, radio airwaves, all that good stuff. Continue to support us on social media. Peace and blessings. I will talk to y'all soon for another great conversation. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay